Hello. Oh, there we are. Thank you so much, Center Band. Yes. Such great music to get us started with today. Well, whether you are joining us here in the sanctuary or you are part of our online community, please allow me to simply say, welcome home. We're so glad that you are here. And here in Eureka CSL, we like to start every service in two very important ways. And first is acknowledging the native lands that we are on. So let's see if my clicker works today. Oh, you already have it. Look at that. They're faster than I am today. I love that. The Eureka Center for Spiritual Living acknowledges that the land on which we gather is the ancestral territory of the Wiyot peoples. This territory extends to the communities through most of Humboldt County, and we honor the Wiyot people today. Next, we want to go ahead and welcome everyone that is here. And so if you are online or here in the sanctuary, I just invite you to say this first phrase with us, and then that very last line, I honor the path that brought you here this morning, to turn to someone either in the room or type in the chat, good morning, so that we are all welcoming each other. And so let us begin. We are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. I honor the path that brought you here today. I honor the path that brought you here today. I honor the path that brought you here today. I honor the path that brought you here today. Oh. All right, and then bringing it back, if you were looking for other ways to engage with this fun, vibrant community, please check us out online. You'll see our weekly schedule with all of the details of everything that is going on, and then I'm just going to give us a couple of highlights of those. First is a class. This is a 5-week class. It started Tuesday, April 2nd, but you can still join. Each class is $20. It's facilitated by Reverend Angelica and is called the 4 Agreements. Anything else you wanted to say about it?
And there's the 4 agreements right there.
Oh, and there's the 4 agreements right there.
They're not as easy as they look.
It's simple but not easy. Yes. All right, next up we have our Better Together Social Club, and we are going to the Party for the Planet. This is going to be next Saturday at the Sequoia Park Zoo. We're going to meet at the gates at 11:30 a.m. And if you'd like to be a part of this, please go ahead and sign up. There's a sign-up sheet over here on the side table, or let us know in the chat that you're planning on coming so we can keep an eye out for you.
Kind of hard for me because I don't have a car.
Yeah. All right. Also, many of you remember our beloved practitioner, Les Craig. Her celebration of life is going to be this coming Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. here at the center. And there's going to be a potluck reception following the service. So please sign up on the side table for what you would like to bring for that as well. Also, a reminder, our guest speaker next Sunday, my things are out of order here, is Dr. Lauren Cannon, philosopher, author, and advocate. And the title of the talk is Becoming More Aware of Othering. So that's a really fascinating topic that we all should make sure we don't miss.
He comes highly recommended by Scott.
Okay, he comes highly recommended by Scott. Also letting you all know the Twice Nice sale is going to be here before we know it. It is coming up in June. It's going to be Friday, June 7th from noon to 6 p.m. and Saturday, June 8th from 8 to 2 p.m. If you have not attended this is a absolutely huge resale sale. We turn this entire center into just a beautiful event where people can get items cheaply. If you have items that you already know that you want to donate to the Twice Nice sale, please go ahead and bring them in so that we can store them in the basement here. You have something?
We can start bringing them now.
Yeah.
Yes, you can start bringing your stuff now. Ooh, I love it when I answer questions before they're asked.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes. All right, yeah, I can't wait for that. It's always a really great time.
Do we bring them on Sunday, or we just come in the middle of the week and hope someone's here?
Should we bring them on Sunday or during the week?
When someone is.
So Catherine's going to be working on Wednesday this week, so you can bring it on Wednesday. Or you could call me, and I don't live that far away. I will come and open the basement door.
You can bring it on Sundays, you can bring it on Wednesday this week because Catherine will be there, or call Reverend Angelica and make arrangements so that she can come over and meet you. And then Burl also has a key, and she's not far. So lots of different ways to get your goods here. All right.
And Catherine's even closer. so
Okay. Moving on.
What are you volunteering me for?
Not.
No? Okay.
We're just saying how close you are.
This month, our bookstore, you'll see in the other room here, all new books are 20% off, except for the one authored by Reverend Angelica. Also, our little pantry, this is a beautiful way that we support our community. We are in need of baby food, shelf-stable milks and juices, and then also request, please no ramen. We have more ramen than we could ever, do anything with in a lifetime. Well, we're to the start of a new month, and so that means we have a new theme, and our theme this month is Living Gently. And here is the beautiful backdrop that Scott has created for this one. I kind of want to go to the river and play when I see that. All right. And then I will be doing our moment of peace today with Jackson. So I'm going to say the reading, and then Jackson will play some music for us, after which I will give our opening prayer, which we call Spiritual Mind Treatment. And so I brought a reading called The Peace of Wild Things. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound of fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lay down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great herons feed. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting for their light. And for a time, I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free. Please take this into the silence.
When I walked in the room, I sensed the presence, and I knew this was a place where love abounds. For this is the temple, the God of love abides here.
And so we just lean into that truth, into that knowing that right where we are, Spirit is. Because there is only one presence, one power, that each one of us are but an individualization of that one. And so what I know is true, that each one of us is also love, because love is the force that drives the universe. And this center is that beacon of love and light. And so I just lean into this place, knowing that our service uplifts the hearts and the souls of everyone who hears this message. That this community continues to grow and thrive and be that space, that heartbeat for this beautiful community that we call Eureka and beyond. For what I know is true is that the good that is here, that is present right now, ripples out, wrapping around and supporting everyone, wrapping around the entire world, seeping in to all of the dark places, bringing light, bringing love, so that each person, each sentient being knows the truth of who and whose they are, that they are loved, that they are love. And so I simply call this service good and so very good. As I cast it forth into the law, I let it go, I let it be. And we know this together by saying together, and so it is.
We are standing on holy ground, and I know that there are angels all around. Let us feel God's love right now, right now. That sweet presence here with us on holy ground.
And now it is my great pleasure to welcome to the pulpit our spiritual leader, Reverend Angelica.
Thank you very much. I'm back. For one who is rarely ever sick, and for one who doesn't take any kind of medications whatsoever except vitamins, that was a really interesting experience. COVID was really interesting. It was bad from the time I got it till about 4 days later, and then finally on day 8 I tested negative, and I was all ready to just jump up and do everything I wanted to do and continue my life, and my energy was like this much. And it's taken almost 2 weeks for it to come back. It's still not totally back, but I realized though, when I went to the washroom earlier today, I thought about how I had just told somebody that my energy really wasn't up yet, and I thought, I gotta stop saying that. So this month is about living gently, and it's about living gently on the earth because, this is the month that we celebrate Earth Day, and we are going to be having, which I forgot to make a slide for, a meditation at Sequoia Park on the 22nd, which is actually Earth Day, so anybody that wants to come to that, that's great. And I wanted to make one other announcement too before I get into the talk, and that is that as you already know, next Saturday is Les's celebration of life, And her daughter has put, I noticed on the invite on Facebook, that she said, wear purple or green or, colors that are real rich and jewel toned like that, because Les really liked those. And it made me remember how much she liked the theatrical aspects of life, which I will mention next Saturday when I do her talk. She also said, make sure you sign up for what you're going to bring to the potluck, because Dahlia, her daughter, is going to supplement it with things if she doesn't think there's enough, etc. But it's going to have good music in it, and it's going to be a party. That's what she would have wanted. So you're all invited.
And she wished that we would all have fairy attire, fairy.
Fairies?
Yeah,
Oh, who
she was
said?
Dahlia.
Dahlia said that? Oh,
Your fairy wings.
yeah.
She was a fairy godmother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. So come in costume. So I don't know what this has to do with living gently on the earth, but while I was, most of you know that anything I don't know about, I go into Google and search it out and, go down all these rabbit holes about stuff, just gathering information. It reminded me that when I was a kid, my favorite set of books was the Encyclopedia Britannica. I could look up anything. It was just wonderful. And now all I have to do is Google, tell me, about this, and I'll get more than I need. But I've discovered while I was doing that March 28th was opening day for baseball. And I started thinking about when I was a kid living at the Catholic school. We didn't play baseball, we played softball, but how I really enjoyed that game. And how when I was working for the company that I worked for 17 years in Glendale, our boss bought us season tickets, the whole group, season tickets to go see the Dodger games. And, I learned about life then. I know the Dodgers aren't as popular up here as they are down in Southern California, but, it was a fun game. And so when I saw that opening day was March 28th, I thought, well, let's just look at this for a moment and let's see what I can get out of it metaphysically. Because that's what I do with everything, is I look stuff up and then I interpret it metaphysically. So Mary Schmitz, a Chicago Tribune journalist who's also a Pulitzer Prize winner, said, opening day. All you have to do is say the words and you feel the shutters thrown open wide, the room air out, the light pour in. In baseball, no other day is so pure with possibility. No scores yet, no losses, no blame or disappointment. Opening day. So then I had to look about, how did baseball get here? And Google told me that the origins of baseball date back to at least the 18th century. The first officially recorded baseball game was played on June 19th, 1946 in Hoboken, New Jersey.
You mean 1846?
1846, excuse me. Thank you. I can't read either. The New York Nine defeated the Knickerbockers 23-1 in 4 innings. 4 innings, yeah. The game is believed to be similar to the British game of rounders, where batters try to hit one ball and run around 4 bases. The English brought the game to their North American colonies, and the earliest reference to baseball in the United States dates back to the 1700s. Alexander Joy Cartwright, who died in 1892, lived in New York. He established the first modern baseball field in 1845. And the first World Series, the 1903 World Series, was the first modern World Series to be played in Major League Baseball. It matched the American League champions, the Boston Americans, against the National League champion, Pittsburgh Pirates, in a best-of-9 series, with Boston prevailing 5-3, winning the last 4. So there's a little bit of history about this game that I consider really American. You know, I had no idea that it was that there were games like it in England, etc. But I thought it was born and bred here. So for me, there's a lot of metaphysics in this game. The game is all about starting in a place called home, and then you go on a little journey, and the aim is to return home. The ones that go home the most often are the winners. Now, home, of course, is that home base, right? But think about that for a moment. It's sort of like Joseph Campbell's journey. That, you know, you start out in a certain place, and then you have to get from here to there, and then from there to there, and then from there to there, and there back to home. And there's pitfalls all the way around. I mean, you could get tagged out, you know, you could not get there before the ball gets back to home base, etc. There's so many different ways things that you have to deal with as you're running the bases, as you are returning home. And for me, this is how life is. For me, home is that powerful presence within us. And so the more often that we get in touch with home, the more successful we are. And the best tools that we have to go home are, of course, spiritual mind treatment, meditation, and affirmations, and living our lives to the very best of our ability. So when I think about opening day, it's the most important thing in any baseball fan's calendar. It's the start of a new season. Everybody is at the same place. Anything could happen. On opening day, every team has an equal chance to win the World Series. I mean, can you imagine that? Every team has the opportunity to win the World Series. So if I was thinking about this metaphysically, what I think of is, what if every day for us was opening day? You start out in a field of infinite possibilities. You get to, you're equal with everybody else. Everybody is starting, the whole day starts 0 to 0, right? Nothing to nothing. So if in consciousness we made every day that opening day, then we're able to do the impossible. And each one of us has a full chance to do whatever we consider winning in life. But what happens to us? We wake up and we think, oh, I have to go to work, or I should have done this yesterday. I mean, the shouldas seem to come up a lot for people when they first wake up. I should have done this, I should have done that, etc. And we start beating ourselves up right away, which means that we're not going to look at the day as this opening day, the day we make it home. So beyond that, there's also some other metaphors I looked at. So when we're talking about somebody who's made a great success in doing something, a lot of times we say they're hitting it out of the park, right? Somebody who has a really good performance is called a big hitter. An unexpected response is called a curveball. When someone offers a viewpoint connected to the conversation, we say, or when somebody offers us a viewpoint unconnected to our conversation, we say it's coming out of left field. When they succeed greatly, they've hit a home run. When a team member is reluctant to engage, we ask them to step up to the plate. And when they perform on a bigger stage, we welcome them to the major leagues. Right? So think about how this game is ingrained in our consciousness. And so when I realized that how much it has been ingrained in our consciousness, I realized that we can use this as a metaphor for our lives. Again, starting with opening day. Every day, every single day is opening day. You know, I remember reading Louise Hay years and years ago, and she talked, I don't even remember what book it was in. It could have even been at a seminar where I saw her. But she talked about getting up, waking up in the morning, and instead of jumping out of bed, she would lay there and she would say, "Thank you, pillow, for being such comfort. Thank you, bed, for being, for hosting me for a good night's sleep. Thank you, blankets." I mean, she would thank absolutely everything. Thank you to the light that's coming in the window. Thank you for, the home that I live in. Thank you for the coffee I'm going to drink and the breakfast I'm going to eat. And she just went through this whole string of gratitudes. What if we were to do that every morning, to be grateful? If we set up our day starting with gratitudes, then I believe all day long things will happen for us to be grateful for. We have to remember. Are you cold?
Yes.
We have to remember that our two basic laws here, according to me, and lots of other people, but I just shortened them to this, was all there is spirit, or God, or the one, or whatever you want to call it, and it's done unto us as we believe. So if we can take absolutely anything and make it part of our experience and make it be a positive part of our experience, just as we can take anything and make it a negative part of our experience. For instance, my continually repeating how my energy is not totally back yet. So the universe goes, "Yes, my darling." And I get to experience that energy not being back yet. So I realize that. Isn't it interesting that in the bathroom, so many of us have revelations like that?
No, it's just you, Angelica.
It's just me, yes. It's a sacred space. Dr. Holmes wrote in Love and Law, "If you could realize the tremendous power of attraction that holds everything in its place, it is yours, this gift. It is the divine birthright of every living soul, but we limit ourselves by thoughts of limitation. Now we must open up the doors of our consciousness and expand and expand and expand, and no longer think in terms of the backyard lot, but in terms of the infinite nature, in terms of the universe." And when I read that thing, the words that jumped out at me was the backyard lot. Didn't a lot of us play baseball in the backyard with our brothers and sisters or friends, or maybe it was in the field down the street or whatever? But we're taking this idea, this game of life, so to speak, into a much larger arena. Might as well imagine it in one of those arenas that's been built to the tune of millions of dollars, right? And allow ourselves to start out the day by opening up to this, by opening up to opening day. Opening day. Every day is opening day. Every day there is so much to be grateful for. Every day, no matter what, we're putting in motion the law of attraction, which then brings to us what we're predominantly thinking and feeling. And I would much rather be thinking and feeling about what a good day it's going to be. You know, how exciting, something wonderful is going to happen today. I'd rather think of that than be thinking about, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. I didn't get this finished, etc. There's always time. There's always time. If you could realize the tremendous power of attraction that holds everything in its place, What do you want to hold in place in your consciousness? Think about that for a moment. What do you want to hold in place? I know that what I want is a couple of things. One, I want to laugh a lot during the day. I love laughter. I want to enjoy my day. I want to have God talk conversations with people. Not just the hi, how's the weather kind of conversations, but the conversations that really dig deep and you know, those kind of conversations. I want to interact with people that I love and that love me. I want to go outside and admire the powerful beauty of nature. You know, in thinking about living gently on the earth, because it's been raining so much and then because I was sick, etc., my roses never got cut back. And I went out there yesterday to think about cutting them back, and there's so many little buds on them that I can't. And I thought, well, you guys really need a haircut to be stronger, you know, to withstand the winds that whip through my yard, etc. But didn't do it yesterday. Probably won't do it today either. Because of all of that life that's coming out. You know, all those, I just can't wait to see all those rose bushes in bloom again. It's going to be awesome. How many times do we actually go outside and really allow ourselves to admire nature? Some of you that are hikers and gardeners and stuff, yeah, Louise is saying every day. But some of us just walk through it without even recognizing it because we're so much in our heads that we don't see what's around us. That's one of the reasons I like walking dogs. I don't have a dog, but I take care of other people's dogs when they go on vacation. And walking a dog is interesting. You know, at first, I mean, this for me was a real metaphysical experience. At first, you know, you're walking along and all of a sudden the dog has to stop and sniff something, right? And it's like, come on, I want to walk, you know, and trying to tug them, and they're really busy checking their pee mail. And, you know, and finally I realized, why can't I just enjoy this? Why can't I look at everything that's around me while they're doing their thing and enjoy nature? And so now for me, a walk is more about seeing things. I've seen things. I've walked down my street. I've lived there almost 10 years. I've walked down my street a bajillion times, and I'm still seeing new things. Like, where did that plant come from? You know? And I know that there was something there before, but suddenly I'll realize, you know, it's not just in the peripheral. It becomes real active in my consciousness. So sometimes we have to make up things to do so that we can really be in the present moment. And again, I want us to remember that if we were to think of every day like opening day and allow ourselves to develop that same excitement about what could happen that day, then we would have all sorts of opportunities. The universe, according to the law of attraction, the tremendous power of attraction, as Dr. Holmes says, we would have all sorts of opportunities to experience more good in our lives, more new things, to be more consciously aware. And in that conscious awareness, it brings us back home. It brings us, to me, home is really in our hearts. We use, this is the the computer room, right? That does all the thinking and imagining and all of that. But the heart is where you really feel things. The heart is where home is. The heart is where spirit lives. In fact, I've had this image in my mind for a long time that there's a heart in back of our physical hearts that is the heart of spirit. And that not only is spirit's heart behind our heart, but we live in the heart of spirit. Because if you really think about what God is love. That energy of love. So we're living in love. And that should be a component to our opening day of knowing, today I get to live in love. Today I get to live in peace. Today I get to live in harmony. I get to appreciate the world that I have created around me. And so think about that this week. Allow yourselves to think about how to make every day your particular opening day. And what, after reading this quote from Dr. Holmes, I know that by doing this, we are making every day the most dynamic, empowering days of our lives. And it's a good thing, a really good thing. Oh wait, if I do this. Oh, thank you, you guys. So Jack Hall, one of our practitioners down in Monterey, wrote our affirmations this month. And so let's say this together and then we'll go into treatment. I embrace loving kindness, expressing myself gently in my every thought, word, and deed. What a good way to celebrate opening day. To allow ourselves to open up to those loving intentions, open ourselves up to empowerment, open ourselves up to inspiration, and remembering that it's all spirit. It's absolutely all spirit. And spirit is this divine energy that is the source and substance of absolutely everything, including our lives, including every cell and atom in our bodies, including all of our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts. Spirit is everything. And so today I choose for myself and for all of us to let every day start out with the excitement of opening day. And I see myself going around the bases with the little pitfalls that might happen, whether they be words or things, experiences. But I see myself doing it easily. And I see myself returning home and returning home and returning home, over and over and over again, until home becomes where I absolutely live. Truth is, I live there anyway. We live there, at home in the heart of God. And now we allow ourselves, with this celebration of opening day, allowing ourselves to open up to a greater experience of the divine. Opening up to the truth of our being, which is spirit, which is love, which is absolutely everything we could possibly imagine. So I know for us that in the area of health, the area of wealth, the area of creativity, the areas of relationships, that each one of us is beginning to see things with brand new eyes. Each one of us is experiencing opening day in all of those areas and more. And this is a good thing, a God thing. And so I release these words knowing for each one of us that this week something amazing happens that reminds us that we are opening up to a greater good. And it's absolutely awesome. So I give thanks for this, and I acknowledge the power of the word, whether I'm speaking it or whether you're listening to it or whether we're speaking it together. Our word has power, and it brings to us that law of attraction that works so well if we let it. So gratefully, I acknowledge these things, and I release these words into divine law, knowing they are already so, and so it is. Our music this morning is Brian Railing. Yay! Thank you, Brian.
The shirt was a giveaway.
Yeah.
He told me he was gonna play his shirt.
I am.
We'll see.
It's very talented. It knows what it's doing. Angelica, thank you for those encouraging words. Go San Francisco Giants.
Okay, Brian, knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, knock it out of the park.
Now you're in the major league.
All right.
Oh, there's a good one.
The shirt was a giveaway.
Trying. In keeping with the theme for this month, Living Gently, music has a way of doing that for us, you know. And one of my most favorite folk guitar singers was John Denver, and who died tragically at age 53 in 1997 from a airplane accident, that in his own experimental airplane that ran out of gas down by Pacific Grove, you know. But he was a very talented guy, and one of his songs that he put out as a singer-songwriter was called This Old Guitar. And this old guitar here I bought in Kodiak, Alaska when I was in the Coast Guard, serving up there on the ship. And there was a lot of quiet times, you know, and needed a little bit of something to comfort you, you know. And I've found that this works for me at times. So I want to share this song with you called This Old Guitar.
This old guitar taught me to sing a love song, showed me how to laugh and how to cry. It introduced me to some friends of mine and brightened up some days and helped me make it through some lonely nights. Oh, what a friend you have on a cold and lonely night. This old guitar gave me my lovely lady, opened up her eyes and ears to me. It brought us close together, and I guess it broke her heart. It opened up the space for us to be. What a lovely place, a lovely space things you know I love to do. To serenade the stars that shine from the sunny mountainside, and most of all, to sing my song for you. I love to sing my song for you. Yes, I do, you know. I love to sing my song for you.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, how wonderful to have so many talented people in our community to share. And now is the time that we get to share our gifts in the form of financial abundance. And so I just invite you to take whatever is yours to give today, whether that is some energy or an affirmation or $1 or a check. Or if you're an online giver, there are many ways that you can give online as well. And so just take that energy of giving into your heart. As together, we say the affirmation. Oh, there we go. I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond. And so it is. And so we just speak a word of gratitude over every gift and every giver, knowing that this too is love in action, that it goes out to bless this center and to bless this community which we serve. And so we simply call it good and very good, and so it is. So it is. All right. It looks like we might have time for some demonstrations today. So if you have one in mind, keep it on the DL there. We're gonna do the community statement of inclusion first, and then Burley. Oh, it's birthday Sunday. I didn't have that on my sheet. See, Scott usually does the first of the month, and I'm all out of whack. So before we get into community statement of inclusion or demonstrations, we have birthday Sunday. So if your birthday is in the month of April, please go ahead and stand up. Yay. Got a couple, yeah. And it looks like Burl has some beautiful spring flowers for you. Ah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear everyone. Happy birthday to you. All right, and now I would like to invite somebody up to read the community statement of inclusion. Who would like to read this today? There we go. Thank you. No, I've got somebody.
You need to be quicker than that. All right.
Awesome.
All right, we, the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusions, champions inner work, and creates space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocates with people the human rights and dignity for all. We are a community that blesses each other, sees sacredness in all life, remains learners and listeners so that we may grow together, and understands that oneness is not sameness. Together we say, we know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
Thank you. I invite you to join me in standing as we sing.
We're not ready.
Oh, pause that.
Donna's jumping the gun here a little bit.
I did.
She's getting very excited.
Karen usually does this part.
Yeah. All right, demonstrations. And Edward, I see you jumping out of your seat there. Come on up.
Yeah, this is actually more of a testimony to my wife and her ability to manifest and her belief system. She does believe that it is done unto you as you believe very strongly, and the power of treatment. So she decided, and I say she decided, that we would buy a house. And we wanted she wanted very much to do that. I was a little bit reluctant because of my age. I'm 73. It doesn't make sense to me. At 73 to start buying a house, or I didn't. I'll put it that way. And I knew that our credit scores weren't quite what they should be. And I also knew that, finances weren't there for us to do that. Well, that never stopped her. Anybody who knows Amy knows that whatever Amy wants, Amy gets. And whatever she wants to do, she manages to do it. So we treated, and we came to this center. After the treatment and coming to the center, we were happy to go home, and Amy had me out house hunting. Try to say that fast. And we ran into a real estate agent, and, I said, okay, fine, we'll talk to her. And to make a long story short, we found that when we got with the real estate agent, our credit was higher than we thought it was. So we did qualify to buy a house, first of all. Secondly, the funds were there, and the house was in our price range. And we looked for all kinds of houses. We kissed a lot of frogs. And we finally found the house that we treated for. It had everything that she asked for, everything that we asked for. And we had been outbidded by so many people on all of the other properties we watched. So we really got together, we held hands, and we treated very hard that we would get this place, because now this was my dream too. And we managed to outbid everybody else and got the place. We're 3980, I think it is, 3980 Hillside Court. Hillside? Yeah. So we're going to...
Congratulations, you two.
Thank you. So we're going to have one heck of a house party.
That's why I wanted the address.
Thank you so much, Edward. Yeah. I think we've got time for one more demonstration here.
A very, very dear friend of mine died at the beginning of the year. And She was an artist. I was director of arts and culture in Sedona, Arizona when I met her, and we just absolutely fell in love with each other. About 2.5 years after I moved to Sedona, she invited me over to her place, and she was painting a painting. And she was going through some stuff in her life and invited me to be her life coach. And so I would coach her at her place, and she would be painting this painting. And I loved the painting right from the very first sketch. And every layer that she put on it, I loved. And I knew that she loved it too. And I was going through, my husband had just died, and I was going through my own stuff. And the painting very much expressed what I was going through at the time. So when she died, I thought about the painting, and again, I loved it. And I was struggling with, how do I appropriately mourn her? Her daughter contacted me and said, "Lorna, I know my mom loved this painting, and I know you were her dearest friend. Would you like it?" Aww. It is hanging. I just hung it about 3 days ago behind my desk. If you're ever on Zoom with me, you'll see the painting.
Thank you. All right, Don, are you ready?
Oh, I'm kind of tired.
Thank you. Mom is tired.
Well, retired, rewired. Okay. I invite you, once again, the rehearsal was very good, so I invite you again to stand up. Touch if you wish. Some are not touching yet, so that's okay.